go. All right, everybody. As you can see, we are still dazed and confused from the conclusion of the part 2 of Attack on Titan season 4, episode 87. I'm kind of at a loss for words, and I'm sorry.
Wow.
I'm trying to focus here, and I can't really focus. Okay. I guess we're gonna try to break it down as best we can. So the episode started off with us very confused. It kind of like, oh, okay, is this somebody's dream? Is this Mikasa's dream, or what a future could be if they went over to Marley and try to engage? We thought we saw like an older Gabby. Well, that wasn't. It was actually a flashback of them actually going overseas and trying to see how they could diplomatically, assess the situation from Mikasa's perspective. Then you had Eren's perspective of everything he's done leading up to it and the implications that meant. Then full circle to present day, the moment that we've been kind of waiting, like 6 episodes for? At least since the rumbling. We haven't heard even Eren's voice this whole entire time. But we hear Eren's voice, and now we're seeing, these colossal titans moving through the water, swimming through the water.
Fast.
Steam coming off of them, burning people to the ground. Ships just decimated. They ain't even getting swatted. They just getting decimated. And they officially made landfall. You said something like we were anticipating it, but we couldn't ever prepare for what we actually saw. Let's talk about that. How do you feel about just the last 3 minutes, I guess, of the landfall?
Like, we knew it was going to be destruction and carnage. We knew it was going to be bad.
Yeah.
I can't say that I definitely knew that the Allied forces would get together and try to mount a defense of that landfall, and how horribly inept it was. And I mean, it might as well been shooting flies at anything. Like they just shrugged it off and kept coming. And like you said, didn't even give the boats the attention to swat at them. They just steam did the people in, and steam set off the munitions that hadn't been shot, and essentially destroyed the ship from within.
Yep.
I was just like, wow, wow. Yeah. And then, as tall as these titans are, to see Eren towering over them,
right?
And they got to see his face, green gleaming eyes, and all. I was just like, this dude looked like evil incarnate.
Yeah. Like, you would literally think if you were there, you were a soldier on land, and you were looking, and you saw all these huge, gigantic, like, titans that tower over every other building around the vicinity. But then you see something that is literally in the sky looking at you with green eyes. You would think the world is about to end. Straight up. Like, you would think this is it. I don't know if they have a religion or what, but you start getting on your knees, start praying straight up. Because honestly, and I think when I was like, like you said, like, they kind of lined everybody up, like they all collectively, globally were like, all right, this is our final stand.
Last stand of humanity.
And I was kind of like, oh, okay, they starting to destroy some of these titans. But then you think about it, if they don't hit the neck, they're just going to regenerate. Meaning that everything that they hit in the water, they're going to eventually come back up. and he was like, oh wow, they're hitting some of them. Then all of a sudden they start flying through the water, bro. I was like, this is insane.
Yeah.
This is insanity. I mean, it's actually pretty sick too, because
Yeah.
honestly, on his own, he probably could sweep a good half of the world just on his own.
Mm-hmm.
And he could have taken them and spreaded them out. But instead, he wanted to have them all there, all of them, pushing forward and him right behind them.
Right.
Like, that's not only intimidation, but that's domination. Because he could have easily strategically kind of had them all going across the globe.
That's honestly what I thought was going to happen, that they were going to fan all out in a circle and basically meet up on the other side.
Eren said, nah, bro. We about to literally flatten everything.
And it looked like, did they target Marley? Was Marley the first stop?
That is definitely the first
on this tour.
They are definitely the first. They're first to get it. They're the first to catch it. And it's sad because all these generations of sickness, bro, created this situation. Like, these jokers came from the island, from, it's just messed up, bro. Like, when you really think about it, it's so bad.
I think the part that made it a little worse for me was, you see in what's the name's flashback, that he understands they're just like us.
Yeah.
He actually got a chance to sit with some of these people that are refugees, and he looked like he had tears.
He did. He had a real emotive moment.
And I'm like, was that because he felt like, I have to do this anyway, and it's going to wipe them out too?
Yeah. I think that's it. Because the whole entire time, like, and Mikasa was like, I just didn't catch it, but you subtly heard him say certain things about what he knows has got to come.
Right.
And he's just trying to connect to whatever humanity he has left. And I guess the final straw was her. But he just, at the end of the day, he had to leave. He heard what they were saying. He heard what they were saying in the courtroom. He knew that there was no other way, because everybody in that courtroom were from people across the world. It wasn't just Marley. It was across the world. And it's kind of like, yeah, Mikasa's, people disagree with it, but nobody else did. They were cheering.
Exactly.
And so he knew right then and there, well, it's got to go this way.
Right.
And that was when Eren, that we know, effectively changed to what he had to become, which is sad, dude. Like, seeing from his perspective all the different actions that he made, him getting the understanding that Mikasa genuinely loves him, and that's why her devotion is to him. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy.
Was she right in questioning herself, though? Like, if she had let it be known to him, declared her like love, because clearly there's love there, would that have changed his course in any way?
I think that it would have made it harder for him, but I still think he would have done it. I don't know what he would have done to stop her, though.
Right.
But I think he still would have had to do what he's doing. But I think that it was easier for him to tell her that lie, for him to justify everything he had to do. Because even beating Armin down, even going and telling her, like, he didn't have to tell her that. He needed to distance himself emotionally from the situation to justify his actions. And I think that out of everybody, even more so than Armin, that she would have been that thing that's like, look, this is not only the person that completely loves me, this is my last family member, technically.
Yeah.
And so I think it would have played a definite effect on him. Now, this is where it gets weird for me. When he was having the conversation with Historia, and Historia at that point hadn't had a baby yet.
Nope.
They wanted her to, but she hadn't had one yet. I kind of got this vibe that because at the time on Zeke's side, he was starting making sacrifices.
Right.
Already. Like he was starting to put things in motion, making sacrifices. Do you think to sabotage their plan, he got her pregnant?
Who, Zeke?
No. Eren. Because remember, she was like, what about the baby? Like, should I still have the baby? Like, she left it on that last tick. And then the last thing we seen her, she was pregnant.
Right.
And so for me, that left me believing that he made a judgment call and did what he did. But I don't know. I was asking your perspective because they honed in on that really hard. And I'm like, if he, got in bed with Zeke, got in bed with Yelena, cut his own arm off, cut his own leg off, knew what he had to do, poked his eye out.
Right.
Knowing fully well what he has to do, I don't think he'd be beyond making that another thing as well. That's just me, though. I mean,
right. No, especially if that conversation with Historia happened after the conversation with Mikasa.
Exactly.
So yeah, no, if chronologically, if it happened that way, then yeah, no, he had already made that hard pivot, cut off whatever last ties to his humanity or any thoughts of saving humanity were done.
Right.
Yeah. No, if that's the case, then yeah, no, that was just another thing to do to bring about his plan, or to be a quote unquote contingency.
It's crazy.
And that's crazy to think about it. That yeah.
I just don't know. It's some weird stuff, bro. Like this episode is so much. And I think she said something along the lines of like, I can't let you do this or something like that.
Right.
I can't willingly let you do this or go down this route to do this.
Actually, I think she said something along the lines of, I wouldn't be able to live with that. And that's when he pulled out, oh yeah, I'll erase your memory so you don't remember.
Yep. That's exactly it. Dude.
So maybe, like I said, that's where that whole lie or whatever that the father or some random farmer or cattle person, when it was Eren. And he wiped her mind to put that story into her mind.
That's crazy. Because she thinks, dang, you might be right. Because she thinks that she's having this sacrificial child to do this. But really, it was Eren that, man, I hope that man didn't do that. And then, ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh, no. Yeah, no, that if he, I'll put it to you this way. If he did do that, yeah, nah, bro. I can't vibe with him no more, man.
I mean, we already can't rap.
I get he's a genocidal maniac, but there's levels of justification to some of that. But if he, just to keep her, appeased and keep her from doing something else, he impregnated her and then made her forget.
Right.
Bruh, that's a different level of evil. That's a different level of evil that I didn't think he was capable of that. I didn't think he was capable of that.
Nah, bro. Look, everything we've seen and heard about him up until this point, even the plotting and planning he did with what was the dude, the main Jaegerist with the bowl cut?
Flock.
Not Yelena, the other dude.
Flock, yeah.
Not Sean. I don't remember. But
Flock.
Yeah. All the planning, everything he had laid out with them, like, I don't think anything is beneath him. So long as it brings an end to his means. Remember, this is the same dude that egged his dad on to wipe out basically a family line.
No, I get it. I really do get it.
Like, come on, man. Like, put it all in perspective, man. This dude is all the way bad, evil incarnate.
And then even with Flock, is the thing is with that, is really those Jaegerists were just to slow Mikasa and the rest of them down.
Yeah.
All of that was really just to slow down the core crew.
Mm-hmm.
And
Because they would be thinking twice about killing people who they trained with.
Right. And they wouldn't have if the Jaegers hadn't got to the ship or got to the plane, they would have been able to intercept Eren before he got there. Possibly.
Mm-hmm. Firmly believe that.
It started so wholesomely. It started so wholesomely with the nice. We thought it was a dream. It was so nice, and then all of a sudden, reality started kicking in when they was like, "Yeah, no, them devils from the island. Yeah, right. No, he might be and they need to die." And
yeah,
Levi, like cheese it, grab the kid,
you run. Only for the kid to take his joint
took
too.
his joint.
But it's typically, how do I put this? That sense of wonder is what we loved about Attack on Titan from jump.
Yeah, it is.
And they put just a little hint, just a little taste of that in the beginning of this episode, and then brought you back. Basically, gave us all a rude awakening.
Yeah, no, that's real. Because again, I don't want to harping over it, but just the reality of what is going on here is throwing me. Because Ty was kind of like, man, how he gonna sit there and do that to Mikasa? How he gonna do it? Like, it ain't even about no love. It ain't about no, this is the key person. That's sick, bro.
No, I've been saying that the whole time, though.
That's sick.
I've been saying the whole time. Like,
that's the glove on the other hand. Ain't all right. I'll put it on my right hand now. Oh boy. Man, it definitely ended on a strong note. Like it wasn't like I felt unfulfilled. Even knowing that, I'm gonna have to wait a year, like that was a strong ending, bro.
Yeah, it was.
Because realistically, if they had showed another episode and all I'm sitting there watching is just cities just getting people getting flattened, I wouldn't want to see that, bro.
No,
I wouldn't.
No, they are going to give you more though.
Yeah, but give me some time, like right. Let that be the season opener, like.
I think they really just wanted you to know. Look, this is the capability of this force led by Eren. This is the not even the extent. This is just kind of like the taste, the tip of the iceberg on what they can do.
Right. Because he is the founding Titan. Like he can really do almost anything. Like he could go and harden their bodies at any time and make them an actual world. That's the crazy thing. Like he can do whatever he really wants to. And he physically hasn't even done anything. He's just moving around.
Exactly. He's just moving chess pieces. And we can't I feel like we still don't know all of what the founding Titan can do.
Not at all.
That's the scary part. I think that's going to come out in that third part.
I think this is where I guess we got to talk about the reality of the situation. Can they stop him? I'm just saying, like, I mean, I'm just making it real plain. Can they realistically stop him? Because I think this is the thing. Now that we've seen what Eren is willing to do to get to where he needs to get, and now we've seen fully what he really is. I mean, can they really stop this man?
Nope. I honestly think their only hope is to somehow, some way, short circuit his thought process. I, I'm saying out of my mouth, appeal to his humanity. I know that's dang near all but gone. I know that's all but gone. But like, yeah, man, like those are what 100
Right.
foot Titans, and he's just like, you still can't even see the height of him
Right.
in this shot.
Like,
It's crazy. It's crazy. Like, nah, there's no stopping that dude. Like, you're gonna have to short circuit his thought process to make him stop himself.
yeah, like,
He's not stopping.
like he just, I don't
And
know.
look at this shot too. Remember what I was telling you about? And I hate
The
to keep
hair.
trying to harp on this. Yeah, it is fully grown. Like, it's all the way in front of his eyes. He's all the way there, bro. He's all the way there. There's no humanity. There's no worrying about society. None of that. Like, he is all the way there, man. Straight up.
Like, it just looks the most evil thing I haven't seen in this show.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
the attacking Titan.
Mm-hmm. That's what they said.
Yeah, I really don't know how they would stop him. Like physically, or like just from his power that he has. Like physically, he's bigger than anything that they've ever even tried to stop.
Right.
And they don't. I mean, I guess. Well, I'm trying to think. They do have all the other Titans except for the Warhammer Titan that's inside of him. Because he's got the attack, he's got the founding, he's got the
Warhammer, and he has a coordinate.
Correct. And he's got Zeke's Titan some kind of way. I don't know if Zeke's in him or
I don't.
connected to him in some way. I don't really know.
Exactly. Zeke might be. If somehow Zeke could reconnect with Ymir somehow, that again to short circuit his power. Like that's about it. But for as long as he has all the pieces as he has it right now, and he's as focused and as driven as we've seen him, that's it. That's it.
Yeah.
It could be like maybe just something that gets him to pause while somebody else does something else. Maybe, but nah, bro.
Yeah, I was thinking about because I was going back through the episodes dubbed with wifey, and we went through the episode where Zeke was going through Eren's memories, and then rumbling happened. But one of the last things that Zeke's dad and Eren's dad said, "Stop Eren." Now this is the thing about that. He already had told Zeke that it was never going to go his way. And he also said that, the things that Eren's going to do is going to be terrible. Why would he still say to Zeke, after he'd already said all that, to stop Eren, unless it's a possibility? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I didn't think about it because, when you're watching the sub, like sometimes you miss stuff. But when I was watching the dub, I was like, maybe Zeke's the key.
And Zeke, I feel like between Zeke and Hanji, they're probably two of the most knowledgeable about Titans and their lore and so forth and so on. So the simple fact that they're on the same side, maybe they could come up with something. Maybe they could craft up something. But as it stands right now, until they could take a key or short circuit the power or get him to think twice on his feeling side, this about to be all bad.
Yeah, and it's weird because when we were thinking back, when everything was going on with Zeke and the euthanization plan and stuff like that, we were kind of like we were thinking and suspecting that Eren, he had other plans. He didn't want to just carry out the euthanization plan. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but in hindsight, what Eren is prepared and about to do versus what Zeke was trying to do, which is not kill everybody immediately, to stop everybody from being able to have children. What is really worse? Because I get, I don't know, man. Like neither one of them are good. I'm not playing
Neither
that
one
hard,
good.
but Zeke wasn't. Zeke was coming off this brainwash mentality, and he was like, I'm gonna try to spare our people by us no longer reproducing. But Eren's like, I'm gonna eradicate everybody except for our people.
Everybody else.
Like the complete opposite. And they're not gonna die slowly. No, they're gonna die immediately and in the worst way possible. Like just thinking about that is crazy to me.
Yeah, no, they're both bad. They're both horrible. They're both absolutely horrible. Maybe the inhabitants of paradise like spread out again at some point under Eren's situation, but goodness gracious, like how would you even feel knowing that everybody that's not you on this world got wiped out by one of your own?
Yeah, I mean it's definitely on some Noah the Ark situation without the water. Just like it's
Titan and fire.
Dog, like dude, I'm curious to see if this is the fact that he made Landfall leads me to believe, bro, that I don't know if this is gonna get stopped. I think that a good 25% of the population is about to be gone, just off rip.
Like the next episode where they pick up from where we left off in present day. That's done. That's done. What can y'all do? Molly's and honestly, I kind of feel like that was part of the plan. Like he wanted to start with Marley and then spread out.
Yeah.
Which is wow. Just make an example out of him, I guess.
Yeah, it's like I mean, initially I was kind of like, Eren kind of became a terrorist. Eren's kind of like, got these weird kind of thoughts that are kind of suicidal. I'm like, no, like he is a genocidal evil man. And it's like it's sad because I know how he got here. Like it's not like I don't understand it. This is the first character in a very long time that I fully understand how he got to where he's at right now. I could never say that. Even like some live action characters that have been doing some evil things. Like I think Forrest Whitaker, the Last King of Scotland, amazing performance.
Yes,
but I couldn't vibe with why he was doing what he was doing. Right, I understood it, but I couldn't get it. I couldn't connect. I couldn't connect the pieces. They found a way with this show of us connecting with the character we thought was the hero.
Yes, we did. All of us did.
And no, he's the villain of the story. Maybe in a sick way, he's the kind of the hero, but he ain't. He ain't.
Nah, this was. It's funny. People been throwing this quote around a lot, but this is literally the almost 9-year stretched out version of it. You either become the hero or you live long enough to become the villain. Like legit. And it's so weird how they pulled it off. Like you really do see every step of the way. And then you start to see where he went back and manipulated things to happen his way. Like that's the crazy part. That's the part that still gets me.
Dude, he manipulated everything.
Everything from his dad on down.
And that whole thing, that joint's still pretty messed up because what he did, even with Zeke, like Zeke thought he knew his brother. You never come across anything like your brother. Because it's the thing, like Zeke is an amazing character. He's actually a dope villain too. But he's not. He can't touch Eren. He can't touch the drive and the sickness that Eren really has in him. He can't touch it.
Zeke is playing on 2 dimensions, and Eren is on like 4.
Right.
Man. It's crazy.
you guys, at least we have more episodes coming.
Yep.
I can tell you because I kind of lumped this episode in with the rest of the season. The whole entire season was a 10 out of 10. This is the best season that they've done thus far. They've always excelled each season, and you know what? Just because of that, there you go. Get some a little bit of what's coming next. But this is a 10 out of 10 episode for me. Just on the merits of like how they dissected Mikasa and Eren's mind perspective of what's really happening. Like completely. Like it didn't go through all the things, but the things that we really needed to understand about them and why their motivations are the way they are, down to the reality of what's right now happening, for good or bad. Like it was almost a perfect finale. I just can't believe we got to wait for another year for it. But I'm not gonna knock a point off of that, so we're good.
Right.
What about you,
man? For the season or for this episode?
Both. You can give the season review and you can give your number for the episode. We'll probably end up coming back because I know Ty has some thoughts. But
most definitely, yeah. And we gotta hear it. No, I think the season, like you said, definitely a 10 out of 10. What I've always said is that these guys know how to ratchet up the tension, and that was present this whole second part of the season. What they excel in that, like, I am not used to seeing is they made even the filler episodes have real weight and real value.
Yep.
And the reason why you understand why Eren is the villain he is because of those flashbacks and how much they fill in and how much they give you a fuller understanding of all of the key characters. So,
right.
Yeah, well, you can make us actually feel satisfied from a filler. What we know is a filler episode. Yeah, that's 10 out of 10 on the season.
Yeah.
And man, just off the shock of that last 3 minutes, I gotta give him a 10 out of 10 before they send a Titan to my house. That was crazy. That was absolute carnage. And they literally set up everything beforehand to let you know this is why it's happening.
Yep.
This is exactly why it's happening. This is not carnage for carnage's sake. This is something that you felt like you absolutely have to do. This is humanity feeling like they absolutely have to stop them and failing miserably.
Yep.
Like it just, yeah. You know why everything is happening and you can't not watch. It's literally a slow train wreck.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. It's kind of like I can't even say that Marley brought this on themselves, because if I go back 2,000 years in one of those episodes that are kind of a flashback episode, you realize, oh, it was the Eldians that invaded this group, enslaved this girl, put her in bondage. And it's like, I can't even say you put it's just a series of unfortunate events that the world is about to reap the terrible destruction from. But yeah, I think on that note, I think we're good. I'm gonna post this on YouTube. Hopefully you guys enjoyed our review of this episode.
Man, I've been rocking a stress ball this whole time, young. Whole time.
I've been had this glove. I'm slapping myself.
Like I'm gonna watch it again, but not yet.
Nah, bro. I need some time. To process all that.
Indeed.
But yeah, we may do another watch party with Ty just to kind of go back through it again. I think we definitely should do a season review.
Yeah.
You brought up a really good point about those flashbacks, because a lot of the flashbacks are not in chronological order. I could take just this season and try to put the flashbacks in sequence. Would be so fascinating to try to do that. I might try to do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, this is great. And Yeah, we appreciate you guys on the ride. We'll be back, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we'll
When
be
they
back
come
for a
back.
season review, but we
Right.
might be back officially for whatever comes to part 3 until probably January of next year at the earliest.
Mm-hmm.
But
Nah, we here for it.
we out. Hope
Yes,
y'all enjoy
indeed.
whatever we got coming next. I don't know
Yeah.
what's the next show to do, but we'll come up with something.
Yep.
Bye, guys.
Falling out the top of the
I can see the skyline, 50 mile radius on my